We talk a lot about burnout these days, don't we? You hear it everywhere. I'm so burnt out. But what if everything you thought you knew about burnout was wrong? What if it's not just about being stressed or a little tired? As a psychologist, I've seen the real cost of misunderstanding this. Burnout isn't a feeling, it's a clinical syndrome, a specific kind of mental and emotional collapse. And if you're experiencing it, you need to know the signs, because it's a lot more serious than just needing a vacation. Chapter 1: The 3 True Symptoms. Forget what you think you know. Burnout has 3 distinct symptoms. First, there's a profound sense of emotional exhaustion. This isn't just physical tiredness. It's feeling like you cannot emotionally handle one more thing. It's like your capacity for empathy, patience, or even just processing new information is gone. You know that feeling when one tiny request could make your whole house of cards crumble? That's it. Even a week off won't fix it. You're still emotionally depleted, still overloaded. That's the first sign. The second symptom? Depersonalization, or as I like to call it, the short fuse syndrome. You become cynical, irritable. Everyone around you, whether it's clients, colleagues, or even your family, starts to irk you. Their requests feel like personal attacks. You become cynical about their intentions. It's like you're constantly on the verge of snapping, and every interaction drains you even more. Have you felt that? Like you're just done with people? That's depersonalization. And the third, often overlooked symptom is a sense of personal ineffectiveness. This is when you feel like no matter how hard you work, no matter how perfectly you do your job, it just doesn't matter. You feel like the system, the structures, or external constraints make it impossible to do what you truly value. Your work stops feeling meaningful. The impact you once cherished just isn't there anymore. It's a deep, disheartening sense of futility. Chapter 2: Burnout versus Stress. So, are you just stressed, or is it actual burnout? The two are often lumped together, but they are not the same. Stress might make you feel overwhelmed, anxious, and overengaged, but with stress, you still generally feel like if you could just get through this busy period, you'll be okay. You feel a sense of urgency. Burnout, however, is characterized by disengagement, helplessness, a complete lack of motivation. While stress leaves you feeling like you're drowning, burnout leaves you feeling hollowed out. It's a very particular kind of clinical syndrome, and it demands specific attention. Chapter 3: The Hidden Roots of Burnout. Why does this happen? Research by Christina Maslach in the 80s and 90s highlighted several key factors. First, an increased workload. Sounds obvious, right? But it's not just the volume. It's when the workload feels overwhelming, relentless, and unmanageable. It's the first domino. Second, a values mismatch. This is huge. You get into a job, a role, a relationship, thinking you're doing one thing. But the reality? It feels like something else entirely. I became a professor to help students have a fantastic experience. Then COVID hit. Suddenly, what I was doing felt completely disconnected from my core values. That mismatch? It's a fast track to burnout. Third, a sense of unfairness. This can be about compensation, recognition, or just how resources are distributed. When you perceive things are unjust, it erodes trust, breaks down community, and fuels cynicism. Finally, your sense of reward. We thrive on intrinsic rewards, the joy of doing good work, making an impact. But when work becomes too focused on extrinsic rewards, or when those external rewards feel inadequate or unfair, it strips away that inner drive. That's when the well starts to run dry. Chapter 4: Your Burnout Checklist. So, are you on the verge? Ask yourself these questions. First, are you experiencing that deep emotional exhaustion? Not just physically tired, but emotionally drained even after a break? Are you on a short fuse, feeling easily irritable, or even ashamed of your reactions to others at work? Do you find yourself feeling a profound compassion fatigue? And has your sense of meaning in your work started to disappear? Do you feel ineffective, like your best efforts just won't make a difference? If you're nodding along to some of these, it's a wake-up call. You might be experiencing burnout. Chapter 5: The Escape Plan. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you need to act. Treatment has two sides: organizational and personal. Organizationally, workplaces must address workloads, value alignment, and fairness. These structural changes are absolutely critical. But personally, this is where your power lies. You need to take radical care of yourself. And I don't just mean the usual get more sleep. It's about how you structure your relationship with work itself. Often, we give work our best selves, leaving the leftovers for everything else: family, hobbies, leisure. We wrap too much of our identity in what we do for a living. And when that identity is challenged by a value mismatch or overwhelming demands, it hits you harder. For my own burnout, I took a sabbatical, but I was intentional about it. I consciously invested more in my relationships outside of work. My friendships weren't just colleagues anymore. I re-engaged with hobbies, even silly things like Guitar Hero, but also things that mattered, like my health, moving my body. It was about developing an identity beyond my job title. It was about remembering all the values and things I cared about. You are more than your work. You are more than your output. Your value isn't tied to your productivity. Reclaim your identity. Reclaim your time. Reclaim your life. It's not just about avoiding stress. It's about protecting your soul.